And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I do apologize for the stream going down earlier. We have switched to the Japanese Twitch server, and hopefully that's a little bit more stable compared to the Australian one. But we're jumping in mid-series, jumping into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the Red Terran player with the Red Terran himself. It is Milky Cow. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss for T1. It is herO. Here we go. I will have to very quickly though set up the setup on YouTube, as I believe that has created a separate VOD. Lovely. So 1 moment. Featuring herO. Okay. Part 2. Ducklings, thumbnails. Okay. Looks all smoother. Up there you go. So it looks like it was an issue on Twitch. It looks like it was an issue specifically on the Twitch Australia server. So I switched from Australia to Japan, and looks like everything should be smooth over on Twitch. Likewise, if you're on YouTube, unfortunately there is now a second VOD on YouTube, so we'll have to switch to a second VOD. But outside of that, we're going to be settling in. Welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps in the map pool, much larger compared to 10,000 feet. We'll just see Milky Cow does fan out with the SUV once again. It is going to be once again a double gas opener, faster factory. SUV moves out across the map, and we are expecting a proxy starport for the second time. Why else have an SUV out here? So eyes are on Milky. Oh, yep, there we go. Starport is on the way. Now, based on its location, I did mention previously how we were expecting either a proxy medevac to drop into the main base for a Hellion drop, or a proxy liberator to harass at the same time to distract. So game 1, we had a proxy medevac. At game 2, we're expecting a liberator here. Oh, we could see a medevac again and just go for the same build. Let's go. Both are viable options. Show us what you got. At the same time, Hallucination Scout does go in, does get eyes on the initial opener. Back at home, 2 more gates on the way, so we do see a relatively safe start out of here, getting up to 3 gateways. And also a big shout out to Holy Lime 23. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 33 months. Thank you so much for the support. That's a lot of months, Pappy, a lot of months. Thank you. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting of the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. Fixing up the YouTube VOD. Just fixing up. Beautiful. Meanwhile, the starport is done. Medevac is on the way. So same as last game, we're going for the Hellion. Oh, actually, my apologies. We're committing a little bit harder here. We actually went into reactor. Sorry, I was tabbed out. We're going into reactor marine production, going for the marine drop into the main base. Not many marines, but marines nonetheless. At the same time, Slagloon gets caught out, and herO is just rallying everything across the map. There's barely anything to defend back at home because of the drop across the map. Uh-oh. There's 2 marines. There's 1 marine. No, he's stuck. Yeah, there's 1 marine here to defend. Drop into the main base. We have a defensive warpin, and here he's all over Milky Cow. He shuts down the main army across the map. He shuts down the army across the map as well. The aggressing army, the defensive army, it's all falling apart. Tank does siege. Tank will to siege up. Does defend the main base. Defends the main with the natural, is under fire. Oh no! Bit of a misrally. Marines are being thrown away. Not the Marines, Pappy, not the Marines. Again, there's the 1 tank to defend. It's now exposed on the low ground. herO, he wants the tank. He wants him. As we're working towards a second tank. Master repair on the first. And here has a third. Here he has a third base. Snipes the medevac as well. Medevac goes down. GG gets called, and herO will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semis, I believe. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to herO. He does claim the series. A very fast series here. Very fast initial best of 3. But GG, well played. herO, he will advance on to the semis, and let's find out the hell's been going on. Let's go. Sorry, a little bit shaky after the opener. Bit of a shaky opener, but we're here, we're back. We want a big shout out to the Kipsteer 86 in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing for 6 months, for half a year of support. Thank you, Papa. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Do apologize for the issues that we had earlier, but hopefully smooth sailings from here on forward. Fun fact, in the past we did actually have issues with the Twitch Australian server at this time as well. For those who are curious, I believe it's just related to congestion issues, related to traffic issues. So yeah, it's happened in the, like, when I say happened in the past, happened like maybe 2 years ago, a year ago. It was something where whenever we streamed at around this hour in the morning, we would have to switch to like the Japanese server or like the Singaporean server or something like that instead, which is kind of weird. But might have to start doing that again. Might have to start. Regardless, GG well played. Again, we saw Milky Cup being hyper aggressive. herO did shut him down hard, shut him down as well. So herO's already in the semis. Again, it's going to be a relatively fast tournament for herO, or at least he has a lot of downtime, as herO has some time to himself here. We have Creator versus Sophisticate going on in the first round as well. I will say that Creator is MIA. I believe Creator is missing in action, so hopefully they're able to find him and play their match. We have Shameless versus Patches. We have MaxPax, who just took down his opponent 2-0, took down Leroy. We have Nickrat versus Greenert in a TVT. We have Solar just took down Ragnar, and we have Young Yakov versus Bomioja. Let's go. Now, when it comes to coverage of this tournament, I believe that Pig is currently traveling to Canada for Stellarfest, or he's in Canada for Stellarfest. I believe Steadfast is also focusing on Stellarfest as well. So Steadfast and Pig, I believe they won't be casting this week as they are busy with the offline event. But Bomioja should be streaming his POV. So Bomioja is streaming his POV against Young Yakov. Because of that, I'm probably going to stick to the upper half of the bracket. I would love to cast some Yakov, some Bomioja, some Solar as well, like some really good matches down there. But Bomioja is also down there as well, and he's also going to be casting if he gets knocked out of the tournament. So we'll do our best to kind of like spread out a little bit. I say that at the same time, it's pure PvP up here. It's most likely going to be Shameless versus Creator into herO, so pure PvPs up here. So you know, now that I look at it, we might head down just for a little bit of variety here. Like the potential Nickrat to Greenert into MaxPax does look spicy, so we may jump onto that before jumping into any Zerg matchups. We should at least have one Zerg confirmed for the semifinals, due to Young Yakov being down there and also Solar being down there. You know, much love to Bomioja, you know, much love, got a lot of love for Bomioja, but it's gonna be a tough series, a tough set of matches for him against Yakov and Solar. So best of luck. Best of luck. But again, I'm going to be mainly looking over at I'm going to be mainly looking over at Nickrat and Greenert. Un momento, as they are currently in game. Just go to matchup results. Young Yakov takes down Bomioja 2-0. Yakov, he will begin his series against Solar. That is going to be a ZVZ, most likely. I say most likely because if you've been watching Young Yakov, you know that he has been playing Protoss against Zerg, kind of like Raynor, kind of like Clem. So Yakov, he's also one of those players that has been playing some Protoss. Hasn't been looking too bad. So we'll see if he does switch to Protoss or commits to Zerg. Like he does mix and match every now and then. Meanwhile, Shameless just took down Patches 2-0 as well, so the bracket is slowly progressing, of course. As I mentioned before, my eyes are mainly on Nickrat and Greenert at the moment, just to follow that into MaxPax. Bomioja should be casting the ZVZ between Solar and Young Yakov. Should be casting. And again, I'm doing my best to try to stay a little bit spread out, at least early on, before the caches kind of come together towards the end. Doing my best. Hi, we're from Costa Rica, papi. Oh, let's go. Bienvenidos. You're the best guys. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the kind words. Gracias, papi. Gracias. Do appreciate it. Nickrat took down Clem yesterday. I mean, Nickrat, he has some killer TVP. We try to hype him up. We try to bring this up whenever we cast him. I'm sure you've noticed if you've heard us cast Nickrat before. But Nickrat, his best matchup is Terran versus Protoss, and specifically for TVP, he has a lot of all-ins. Like Nickrat, he has a lot of all-ins, a lot of very cheeky, aggressive builds. And we've casted Nickrat beat herO. We've seen him beat herO. We've seen him beat MaxPax as well. Like, he has beaten the best Protoss players in the world. It's just one of those things where he's maybe not the most consistent player, but like every couple of months he like spikes up, he pops off, and he beats a MaxPax, or he beats a herO, or he beats a Clem, right? He can definitely like punch up in TVP. For sure. No worries, now it works perfect. Nice. So snowy, it was. Just making sure everything's smooth over on YouTube as well. Beautiful. For now, though, I guess we're going to be going on a break. Short break. Big shout. Oh, thank you. Oh my god. Thank you so much to Pezavenga in the chat. Thank you so much, Papi. Pezavenga. Thank you so much for gifting 5 subs to the community. Oh my god. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it as always, Papi. Not the first time that we've received some gifted subs from Pezavenga as well. So thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Gracias, Papi. Gracias. And again, we have a little bit of downtime here, just waiting for some matches to open up. Solar versus Young Yakov just started, but as we mentioned before, I believe Bomyoja should be in that series. Yeah, Bomyoja is casting that. We are happy to wait. We're happy to wait for Nickrat and Greenert. And again, just as a heads up, looking to avoid all the PvPs in the top half. Like again, Creator into Shameless into herO. That's gotta be a lot of PvP. It's gonna so we'll be sticking we'll most likely be focusing on the lower half of the bracket for the time being. So we're gonna be going on a break. Going on a short break. When we come back, we will have our next set of matches. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. Really appreciate what you do. I wake up at 6 a.m. and you start the stream. It's great. Let's go. 6 a.m. I believe it's around 6 a.m. in Europe, right? I believe it's around 6 a.m. in Europa. Crazy, Bobby, crazy. Thank you. But yes, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have our next match. We'll have our next set of series. See you soon, Bobby. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we've returned. We've returned here with the quarterfinals, with our next quarterfinal match here in the PiGosaur Cup number 56. We are jumping into our fresh series, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner we have his opponent. I assumed it was going to be Nickreck, but no, instead we have the teal Terran player. It is greenart for PiGosaur. Let's go, baby. Let's go. If you're in the chat, so predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series, as greenart did actually take down Nickreck 2-1. Went all the way to the ace match. Nickreck has been knocked out of the tournament, and greenart does rise to take his place. Again, the Canadian Terran player. Papi. Very nicely done. Does advance on a face-off against MaxPax in the next round, and we'll see if we can keep that streak going. Already a big win for greenart to take down Nickreck. Can he do the next best thing, or can he take down this next one? God, I have to get rid of the two now. Can he threaten MaxPax? Let's go. MaxPax, of course, being the best Protoss player in all of Europe, and MaxPax is a terrifying opponent to go up against. Best of luck to greenart. Let's go. For now, economic opener is going for a Rax expand. Single gas geyser out of greenart. We saw nothing but double gas openers on hyper aggression out of Milky Cow, but here we have a more economic start out of our Terran. So a very different approach as we are loading into Winter Madness. When it comes to the map, Winter Madness is a very large map of the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. We do often see longer and later games on this map, so we'll see how our players do approach this. We'll see if we do try to embrace and get into the mid game. For now, we do see a delayed CC that was around 4:30-ish, so a delayed CC here from greenart. Nicely done here by MaxPax. Not the most amazing kind of start here, but a nice little pick off, or a nice little just forcing a little bit of inefficiency, I should say, out of greenart as we settle into a longer game state. Likewise, we'll keep an eye on the tech of choice. Because Winter Madness is so large, it does mean that something like a Stargate opener is more viable here. We expect to see a Twilight Council, but not unheard of to go for something like a Stargate play. We'll keep an eye on MaxPax. Meanwhile, that is not a factory, that is a second Rax. Oh boy, with a second Rax being thrown down, we're waiting for a third. There it is, 3 Rax. 3 Rax stim timing out of greenart. Hyper aggression in the follow-up here. There's going to be very strong stim timing. Now, when it comes to MaxPax across the map, it's going to be on him to confirm what's going on and to react and to respond. Ideally, what you want to do here, there's a couple different ways. You can respond with a faster Robo into a faster Bay into faster Colossus production, or you can respond with extra gateways with Blink, and you can engage ahead of time. What's important here is that this is going to be a very strong stim timing, but delayed factory, delayed starport, no supportive units, no medevacs. Every stim hurts, and of course, engaging at a time, it means you can focus down and shut down the Marines ahead of time as well, slow down to weaken the push. Again, it's going to be on MaxPax to do so. For the time being, we do see MaxPax move out, 2 SCVs going down, denies mining, and even delays the bunker. It's a nice start by MaxPax. Behind this, add-ons are on the way, opening up with a concussive shell. Interesting, with Marauder production. The depth should be dealt with. A second depth has arrived, which means we can just take the fight. Oh. Yeah, now to depths is getting a little bit out of hand. Again, this is delaying the economy heavily here for greenart. He should have a saturated natural. Ooh. And finally, he can break out. There's a cancellation. Does cancel the bunker. Isn't greenart a Protoss player? He is not. Greenart is Terran. You may have seen greenart play Protoss in other tournaments. I believe there are certain cases where greenart does off-race for, I believe there's like MMR restricted tournaments. So there are tournaments that are MMR restricted where he does kind of like switch his race and play something else. So we have seen that before. I think we've casted greenart play random before, and he lands on Protoss. I think we've seen that as well. But yeah, greenart, he's main race Terran. But you're correct in saying that I believe we have casted his Protoss before. For now though, we have our CC on the high ground. Again, our sim timing is upon us. We do see the greener, he's transitioning out of this, but this should still be a very committed timing here from our Terran player. And we do see MaxPax engage ahead of time, does pick away at the Marines. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6 Marines going down. Nice pickoffs, and this is just delaying a greener's push. Ooh. We'll get a Stalker, bit of miscontrol by MaxPax. Yeah, a couple of Stalkers go down, nice stim. Dust him in, does chase his Prism, and the Prism, oh, can you get away? Up, up. Oh my god, just barely will. Yeah, the Prism does pull out, and MaxPax does get away. Behind this, MaxPax claiming his third base, getting to the rest of his gateway composition, going into charge, going into storm, not Colossus. But the sim timing the greener was building up towards, at this point it's come and gone, right? He's bled out how many Marines in total? 8. 8 Marines have gone down this game. This push has been weakened. We see MaxPax dropping, greener, he's forced back home. And now we have to build up in towards the mid game. Oh, Starboard is delayed, E-base as well. Nice pickoffs. Getting another 5 SCVs. 6, 7. 7 SCVs going down. So nice damage here by MaxPax. Behind this, MaxPax settling into storm, settling into a splash damage. And getting more comfortable. So, getting more comfortable. Greener has potential with this bio army. So far he's unscattered, so he might be able to slip into one of the mineral lines. There's potential here. So now he does pull away. So far, drop back into the main base. Once again, delays one of the E-bays just barely. Another E-bay is delayed. Picks up a handful more Marines, and the Prism even gets away. Here comes the main army. Massive storm on the bio. Ay, ay, ay. Stood in the storms. And MaxPax is pushing in towards the third base. There's still a standing bio army, but there's 2 more storms left. We got 2 more storms. MaxPax, he's getting a little bit supply blocked here. Yes, he is stuck at 117. Storms are coming in, they do connect. Ooh, they catch out the army. There's a final storm. Sorry, I think there's one more. Yeah, there we go. There's a final storm. And with that, MaxPax, he's done it. He has broken the third base, gets into the mineral line, takes down the Metavax. There's a handful more orders left, but they're heavily overstimmed. They're softened up from the storms. And they're being chased down. Yeah, they're just being chased down. GG gets called, and MaxPax takes game number 1. Will take a lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Greenert, he did have potential early on when it came to his build, but MaxPax was able to be aggressive ahead of time, was able to slow down the army, and in the end, the sim timing never got across the map. He was stuck at home, bled out too much, forced to expand, forced to get a third base, but had a shaky start, or shaky transition, getting into that third. GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax takes the lead in the series. Now we're getting to game number 2. Let's go. Game 2 is going to be on Throne of the Dunes, another one of these larger maps. Here we go. This is also where I'm not really too fond of the idea of going for these more committed builds on these larger maps. It takes a longer time to get across the map, to make use of the build as well, to hit that timing. But we'll see. We'll see how our players do adjust coming into our next map. We'll see what build we go for this time. As I would imagine, we're not going to go for the same stim timing. Show us what you got. Here we go. Did you catch Greener versus Nico? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. We were covering Milky Cow versus herO at the time. We did miss it, but here we go, spawning in the left-hand corner of Throne of the Dunes. We have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Canadian Terran player. We have the teal Terran representing PiGosaur. It is a Greenert. Here we go. Whew. So getting into game 2. Again, last game, Greener went for a 3-rack stim timing. Did miss his timing. In the end, MaxPax, he was able to be aggressive. He was able to engage ahead of time. This time, what do we go for? As welcome to Throne of the Dunes. Again, it is a larger map, longer rush distance by ground. We have a relatively secure 3-base setup. Your 4th base is a little bit more vulnerable, is a little bit more spread out, but we'll see if we are able to embrace that longer game state, as this time, double gas opener out of Greenert, going for a delayed CC. Also, I have to remind myself to remove the tuna. The tuna. We'll get rid of it. After this series, I'll do my best. Do my best. As for now, we are setting up on the high ground. MaxPax does confirm both gases, and we'll be able to dip out as well. We'll see if we can avoid the Reaper. Probe does evacuate. Does attempt to pull out. And does make it back home. Let's go. Probe makes it back. When it comes to the initial double gas opener, it's going to be racks into factory. We should be seeing a CC on the high ground. We're just waiting for a little bit of extra minerals. There we go. CC is on the way. So safe for command center. It will take a little bit longer to float over, but it will not be delayed. Remember last game with the double adept, we saw that MaxPax was able to heavily delay mining at the natural, which also delayed the push as well. True, right? Like there's a lot that kind of came into that. It wasn't just that MaxPax was aggressive ahead of time, but he also did kind of stifle the push and stifle the timing thanks to the night mining at the natural. Speaking of, adept does move out. Second adept as well. At the same time, a Greener is slipping into the main. Oh, no safety shield battery in the main base either. Probes, they can fall. Oh. Yeah, boys are being pulled. So finance controlled by MaxPax. He does pull away those weakened workers, but one probe does still fall. Gets one, gets two. Gets 2, gets 3 pro kills. Very nice damage here by Greener. 4 probes going down. Can we get 5? Can we get 6? Oh. Goes for the no. Gets surrounded. We'll lose 1. Yeah, one of the Reapers does full and is going to be cleaned up. And gets a full scout. Confirms the blink. That's still going to be 5 probe kills. Not a bad start here by Greenert. Not bad at all. 5 probes for 2 adepts. Sorry, for 2 Reapers. That is well worth it here for Greenert. And now we can expand. And back at home, he will have the defensive Cyclone. So unlike last time, he does have an army to deal with the adepts. He can shut them down. He defends. So he's getting to his 1-1-1. Back across the map, we see MaxPax going to his own 3-gate blink. So 2 more gates on the way, 3-gate blink. Very safe play here by MaxPax. We'll see if he goes for... Oh, yep, he's going for the robo. We'll see if he goes for gases or if he just expands from here. As he can choose to stay on 2 bases a little bit longer. To be safer. Greener, he's shocking around, hoping to catch the adepts. MaxPax, he comes in from the right hand side. And Greener will spot this. Hoping he does. Ooh, adepts they get into the main. Cancel the shade. Mule goes down, gets a mule, gets an SCV. Nice damage here by MaxPax, does some counter damage after losing those probes. Getting 2 SCVs and a mule. Keeping Greener busy. Here comes the move outs. MaxPax does take his gases first before expanding. He may even go for a Temple Archives before the 3rd base as well. He may be that much more committed. As MaxPax moves out, tank is on the ramp. Oh, did move down to low ground, is exposed. Gets 1. The Marines, they do somewhat punish. I believe they get 1 Stalker. Yeah, 1 Stalker goes down for a tank. Better trade for MaxPax. Cyclone jump into the main. Greener, he gets in. Does get into the mineral line. Nice damage here. Probes are falling, forcing a recall as well. Can he get out of here? Oh, ooh, he will not. Brutal pickoff here. Medevac does fall, does get 6 probes, does force the recall at least, and Greenert, he is safe back at home. He's alleviated that pressure. Very late third base for MaxPax. It's a third base after a charge begins, after the gases. And it was a third base after Temple Archives. Okay. So again, really safe play at MaxPax. This means that he gets early storm, late expansion. So there's a bit of a give and take here. Which is ideal if Greener goes for a 2-base all-in. As Storm would be ready for said all-in. Oh. Prism is denied. There are TCs on the way, so Greener, he's not going for the all-in. He is slowly building up into a longer game. The game will continue. For now, it's MaxPax just containing Greenert. Spreading out. He's got Stalkers towards the left, Prism towards the right, Observer on the main army, of course. MaxPax sees everything. He didn't see the command center, so MaxPax is not fully aware of about whether or not this is an all-in or not. Nice scan. Spots the Observer. And if Greener does move out, MaxPax is ready to backstab. He's ready for the backstab. Ooh, double drop will slip out. Just barely. MaxPax, he moved over the Stalker. I did rotate the wrong moment. Drop does slip out. And MaxPax will pull away. How many had Templar? Plenty. He's got 4 Templar here at the third base. He's got his reinforcing army as well, so his third base is safe. Happens to be where Greener is heading. Here comes the main push. And as I mentioned, as Greener moves out, Prism moves in. Greener's somewhat in position. We'll lose 1 SCV. Defends. Meanwhile, drop into the main. Can go for the warp in. Oof. Yeah, the drop gets called out. Medevac falls. Massive pickoff. But what about the fourth base? Yeah, the fourth base should be cancelled. At the same time, a warp in does complete in the main. SCVs are going down across the map. There's a cancellation on the Nexus, but that's going to be 14 dead SCVs. And here come the storms. Yeah, here come the storms. Mine shots, nice dodge. We'll touch the mines. Sentry goes down. 17 SCV kills across the map. Zelsa catching more reinforcements and Greener. No! Losing the tanks. Brutal pickups here. Medevac goes down. Tank goes down as well. And Greener, sure, he was able to deny the fourth base, but he's bleeding out some key units here. Both tanks full. And MaxPax didn't just keep pushing. He can't just keep pushing. I believe the War Prism wasn't even sniped. It's still alive as well. Yeah, the Prism is still out there. MaxPax, he defends back at home. Third base is under fire. And Greener, he cannot defend the third. Not with all these storms. No. Storms, they zone away. More storms are coming in. Oh, Jesus. Can't defend the storms. They kill everything. The storms, they just annihilate the entire army. And we still got more storms. GG gets called, and MaxPax will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. There's a lot of storms, papi. GG, well played. MaxPax will claim the series. Shout out to Greenert, as he was able to hold his own for a time, and he did have some nice moments, of course, when it came to his own harass, when it came to his own counter damage. I mean, the Reaper opener was nice. He killed 5 probes. He killed 5 probes with his initial Reapers. Like that, there was definitely some nice moments there. Unfortunately, as we mentioned, MaxPax had a lot of map vision and map control. He didn't miss the double drop moving out, but his reinforcements were at the third base anyway, so his third base was fine. On top of that, he did see the main push, which means he could backstab, and that's end of the game. Winding it back, remember, he killed 17 SCVs with that War Prism in the main base, so that one backstab crippled the economy and did kind of set MaxPax up for success. So GG. GG well played. With that, MaxPax, he will claim the series, and let us head on over and catch up on the semis. Let's go. Here we go. So we have some updates here. We have some updates. Solar takes down Ragnar 2-0. Solar takes down Young Yakov 2-0. And now we're getting into the semifinals. We have MaxPax versus Solar in the lower semis. Okay. So we have our initial best of 5. As a reminder, it is going to be a best of 5, not a best of 3. This is unique to PiGosaur Cup. At PiGosaur Cup, they do feature best of 5s in the semifinals. So we have some longer matches, some longer series. And we just get more out of our players. Let's go. Meanwhile, shout out to Bomyoja. I believe Bomyoja, he's covering Creator versus Shameless, and he's going to be following that into Hero. So Bomyoja, he has all the PvPs. So if you want to check out the upper portion of the brackets, Bomyoja, he has you covered there. Este bully. It's got you covered. Otherwise, Vita's underway, and we are getting into Solar versus MaxPax. Also the tuna. True. Almost forgot. Get rid of the tuna. And also, before I forget, it happened during the game, but a big shout out to Kasansky. Kasansky, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pappy, for the gifted subs, for the 5 gifted subs to the community. I do apologize for not giving you a shout out during the game. I was a little bit engrossed, but thank you so much for the subs to Strucky's Nation, to Sirius Black, to Kuzrinks, to Real Sunny, to the R, and to Monekito. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Thank you. Much love, much love. But again, for now, we're going to be going on a very short break, and when we come back, we will have our next matchup. We'll have that best of 5. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after the break. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely Brutal OST as we returned. We returned here with what? With our semifinals of PiGosaur Cup number 56. Again, this is a weekly open cup, weekly open tournament. But as we mentioned, something unique about this tournament is that the semifinals are not best of threes. This is a best of 5. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg for Team Falcons. It is Solar. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, I would say that Solar is favored, but only slightly. In recent weeks, in recent months, we have seen MaxPax is favored. We have seen Solar beat MaxPax every now and then. We've been seeing him take some maps and even take some series as well. So Solar, he has it in him to cause some upsets to bring down MaxPax. It comes down to who is in form on the day. On top of that, another big factor, the maps, right? We do have a custom map pool. We have a full TLMC21 map pool for the maps. There are certain advantages, certain disadvantages. There are some play styles that are stronger, some that are weaker, and of course, players still have to get used to the maps themselves. Coming into this, welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is a very large map of the map pool. Very large. I would say it is easier to turtle up and to defend on 3, 4, and soon to be 5 bases as well. So here, MaxPax will be favored if he does choose to go for a more defensive style. Aggression is going to be difficult to pull off on this map just because of the narrow entrances into the natural and into the third, and even here, a very narrow entrance into the third base as well, and also here towards the 4th base. So again, just a really powerful defensive 4-base setup here. We did discuss this when we were doing the judging for the TLMC21 map pool, so Winter Madness does favor more defensive play, but we'll see if Solar tries to break that. He may attempt to go for an all-in anyway. He may take a different approach. Now, what I will say, on these larger maps where it is easier to be more defensive, this is where something like Muta play and Spire play is viable. On these larger maps, it can be harder to scout, harder to confirm, and you can get away with hidden mutas. So that's going to be an option here for Solar. Likewise, he could try to be more tech heavy as well. We'll see how Solar does approach this. For now, Stargate. Stargate over at MaxPax. We don't really expect to see MaxPax mix things up. We expect Stargate into a 3rd base into +1 and Blink Stalkers. We expect standard play out of MaxPax. It's more on Solar to mix things up. Let's go. Let us go. So now he pulls out of gas, getting into link speed, claiming his 3rd base, droning on up, saturating and keeping up with the initial adepts. It's going to be up to Solar to keep up with the adepts and keep up with the oracles. We'll see if MaxPax can find some damage. First step moves out. MaxPax does scout the 3rd. Is aware. And pokes in. Takes down the tumor, not bad. As he does snipe the active tumor. Oracle's on the way. 3rd base to be taken. There's that 3rd. Likewise, we see Solar catching out the first adept. Okay, nicely done. Does take down the first adept, does rally the links across the map. Back at the 3rd base here, it is looking a little bit more exposed, but the 2nd Oracle has arrived. And MaxPax doesn't turn back around. The 2nd adept does make it back. Makes it back home. Twilight Council is on the way. And I believe that is a bit of an earlier Twilight Council out of MaxPax. So earlier Twilight Council timing, we have the gateway explosion getting up to 4 gateways. This looks like Glaives. So MaxPax is deviating. No forge, no +1. Show us what you got. Looks like Glaive Adepts. We'll see if he commits. Meanwhile, Solar, he's rallying a lot of Lings. Yeah, Lings are rallying. He's moving out. Blink. Blink and not Glaives. Late to +1, late forge. Now, because of the earlier Twilight Council timing, because of the earlier Blink timing, this tells me that MaxPax can be aggressive earlier to apply pressure to the 4th base. So we'll see if he moves out. He can be a little more active. The Lings, they do snipe one probe. One probe goes down. And again, we're waiting to see the extra warp ins, the extra reinforcements, and the Stalker push. Meanwhile, Solar is droning, taking gases. We have a bit of a later Evo chamber out of Solar into his own Hydra Den. Did go for a safety Roach Warren, so Solar looks like from here he can go into +1 range into Hydra play. We'll see what he goes for. There is a build where Solar does get 0 upgrades, where he goes Mass Hydra into a 3-base all-in. Lings, they threaten the 3rd base. Getting into the gas geyser at the same time. Solar, MaxPax going to be threatening the 4th base of Solar. It's hitting low. Yeah, the base is getting low. The Lings are racing back home. Stasis goes off. Decent stasis. Blink is almost done. Yeah, Blink is almost complete. So far, Solar, he's defending, he's holding on, +1 range is on the way, and we can see Infestation Bit. This tells us that Solar, he will saturate his 4th base. So Solar is taking up in towards a longer and later game. Infestation Bit indicative of Hive Tech, of Lurkers. Being run by is denied. The hatchery's getting very low, but Solar should hold. Oh, ooh, massive stasis. Stasis goes off, but the 4th base is barely saved. Behind this, MaxPax getting his own 4th. And we are getting into a longer game. Now, as we get into a longer game state here, as I mentioned before, the 4-base setup that MaxPax currently has is very solid. It's very easy, or it's much more easier to defend. That's why Solar, he's not going for an all-in. Hive is on the way. Lurker Den is on the way. We're rushing into Lurker Tech. Now, with this tech, with this build, there is going to be a window of time where Solar has Lurkers before MaxPax has Sky Toss. So there's a window, right? There's a window in time where Solar can spike up with his Lurkers, where he can just go for the kill and try to wedge himself in between the bases, either in between the 3rd and 4th, or in between the natural and 3rd base. So that's kind of what we're looking for here, is that Lurker timing. Meanwhile, we do see a second Rogo on the way from MaxPax, so he's not rushing into a Fleet Peak and he's not rushing into Sky Toss. For now, he's sticking to a ground-based composition. Oh, Spire is on the way. Okay, that's a bit of an earlier Spire. Interesting. There's the Fleet Beacon, there's the Sky Toss. So we're getting ready for a longer, later game. Sky Toss for MaxPax, and we're preparing upgrades for the Corruptors for Solar. So we're entering a game state that most Zerg players avoid. Even Solar typically avoids this as well. So bold move. Bold move to embrace the late game. We'll see if it pays off. Meanwhile, Zell warping into the natural. Zell take it in. These are slow lots. Oh, charge just finished. Going for the Hydra Den. Okay. I won't quite get it. MaxPax, he rotates. Lurkers are ready. And so far, Solar's holding. Solar, he does defend. Likewise, MaxPax has to be so careful not to be caught out. Not to get surrounded. And again, MaxPax, he's being aggressive. Oh, he's being active here. And remember, the goal here for MaxPax is not to kill any bases, not to get into mineral lines. He's just posturing, keeping Solar busy while what? Tempest, right? We're slowly building up the Tempest, the Sky Toss. MaxPax just ensuring that Solar's back at home while he perfects his army. And MaxPax, he doesn't test his luck. He pulls away. He pulls away. Again, he makes sure he does not get surrounded. Solar, he's maxed. He's maxed out with his Ling, with his Hydra, with his Lurker. Now, this is where the 5th base for MaxPax is more exposed, right? There's a much more exposed 5th base. It's here on the low ground. It's much more, I say much more exposed. No, not even. It's So the thing with this 5th base, as you can see, a very narrow entrance on the left hand side, narrow ramp on the right. We do have a bit of a more open ramp here on the right hand side, but there's more of a flanking, more of a harassing ramp. Here come the lurkers right down the middle. Storm gets a lot of value. So nice storm here at the entrance. Lings, they get onto the base, they force a cancel, and the Tempests are revealed. Tempests are revealed. And it is going to be difficult for Solo to maintain this position and to deny the 5th base for a second time. Yami gets across the map. Solo, he's racing back home. Making some decent storms. MaxPax does pull away. He can recall. Hey, he does find an expansion. Still has some storms. Oh! Yeah, Ling's aiming for this round. Mass storm on the lurkers. Ooh, I tell them to get caught out. Massive pickoffs. No, the base! No, 20 HP. One shot away from going down the hatchery. Barely survives. Ay. I mean, we can just rally a zealot, right? We can just rally a zealot over. Should still go down. MaxPax did lose, what was it, 3-4 High Templar in that fight. So massive losses. Ooh, and he does get surrounded. When we try to go for the cloak. Lurkers, they get on top of the High Templar. It's going to be every Templar going down. MaxPax, he gets caught with his pants down. Completely surrounded. Yeah, he was out of position. And Sola, he's going for the kill. Going for the throats. And it may be difficult to engage into the 5th, but hey, he was able to surround just outside the 5th base. And with that, he can snowball out of control. He can just rally in, takes down all the Tempest. And again, one wrong move. MaxPax trying to counterattack, doing what he can. Lurkers are pushing into the natural. So he's moving in. Should be moving in. This army across the map has a little potential, but that's the final storm. Oof, that's the final storm. With that, MaxPax is going to be cleaned up here. The boys are being pulled. Corruptors, they camp the main. They catch another Tempest. These lurkers, I feel like they could be a little bit more active here, but regardless, maintaining their position. Immortals are cleaned up. Yeah, here we go. Lurkers, they push forward. Getting on top of the 3rd base. And there's no stopping this army, right? There should be no stopping this. A nice little run by though. That's going to be 28 drones going down. That's some nice economic damage, but the main army here is still in favor of Solar. Going for another expansion. The next is falling. Once again, just camping the Tempest. Another Tempest goes down. And another. Just 3 Tempests. And how many lurkers are left? 7. Soon to be 16. Jesus. 16 lurkers. That's plenty of lurkers. Plenty of anti-ground army here. Again, the soup does lie. One of the reasons why MaxPax does have that supply advantage is the probe count. You can see here heavily oversaturated at his 5th base. The army is lacking. We'll see if MaxPax can recover. True. I mean, with that higher probe count, he is double expanding, trying to re-expand, trying to stabilize. That Solo does get into one of the Templar. Gets 1, 2. Wow, 2 Templar go down. Army's moving in. Again, there's just not much to defend back at home. MaxPax racing back. Nice storm on the ramp. Very nice storm. Jesus. Softens up the lurkers. Base still falls. And Solo, he should just snowball out of control from here. Again, MaxPax, he's stuck on, what, a 1-base economy, if that? And again, this all came down to the one surround. The one surround here at the ramp, where MaxPax was caught with his pants. The pants were down, Pappy. The pants were down. Yeah, Solid has wedged himself in between the bases. 26 probe kills. The Lunkers are moving in. And Corruptors are still came to the production. They get another Stargate. MaxPax, the copium at this point is very real. I mean, it has been for a while. It's okay, Pappy. He's got 2 Tempests. We got this. He's fine, Pappy. Yeah, once again surrounded. GG gets called, and Solar, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, MaxPax, honestly, he played it out really well initially when it came to securing his 4th base, securing his 5th base, being active with his Stalkers, applying pressure, trading well as well. Like, MaxPax, he had a very nice early to mid game. It all came down to kind of like the max out army and the big engagements, of course, with MaxPax getting surrounded, getting caught outside of his 5th base. He did try to cloak to survive, but there were plenty of overseers, plenty of detection, and he lost everything. It was brutal losses. It was like, what, 4 or 5 High Templar going down, losing his Mothership, losing his Tempest. That was game. That was game then and there. So Solo, he will take a lead in the series, and now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Bad camera. Oh, I'm fading into the... kind of. We're okay. We're okay. We're okay. Not fading too much. Show me the shroud. Yo, I see Oreo in the chat. Fun fact, I have not seen my Krobo shroud used once in competitive play. No, I say that. We saw Shin use it once against, I think he did it against Nicaract in a ZVT. But we've had the patch live for like 3 weeks now or something, and yeah, unfortunately it just hasn't really been utilized. I would love to see it at some point. Would love to. One day, Pappy, one day. But spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the Danish Protoss. We have the Red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Protoss. Sorry, the Blue Zerg player. The Blue Zerg player himself leading the series 1-0 for Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. So getting into game 2. Doesn't Rogue use it? Saw him in ZVP. Maybe in a game that we didn't cover. Maybe like in awardee tournaments. Maybe an awardee tournament, yeah. For sure, for sure. I've yet to experience it, unfortunately. Here we go. So now we are going to be settling in. Welcome to the Old Republic. The Old Republic is another one of these larger maps. Now, this is where I am concerned for MaxPax. Winter Madness would have been an easier map to turtle up on, and as we mentioned, MaxPax, he was caught out on the map, not back at home, where he was much more secure. It was a big moment. Here on the Old Republic, this is where the 4th base is very difficult to take. We have seen many a Terran and Protoss players struggle against Zerg on this map. We've seen many a player attempt and fail to defend the low ground expansion and the linear base as well. The bases, the 4th base specifically, is much more open, much more accessible, and much more difficult to maintain. So this is where Solo should have an easier time being aggressive. We'll see if he does go for something more committed here earlier on. We'll see. Yeah. Or you have such a way with words, Pappy. You have... But yes, like we've seen many a player attempt and fail to defend here the low ground 4th base or the linear 4th base as well. It's a lot more further away, a lot more spread out, so rotations are easier for the aggressing player, and likewise the entrances are much wider as well, much wider, so you have a greater arc, a greater concave pushing into the linear 4th base or into the low ground 4th as well. It's been a bit of a struggle. So this is where we can see Solar, instead of rushing into lurkers, he could commit into something more Hydra based early on. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on them. I see 007 in the chat. I have no time to ladder, Babby. No time. The next cast is going to be in, what, 6 hours? We have another cast 6 hours from now. No time to ladder. Catching up in the chat. Just catching up. For now, we do have our follow-up here. We have our Twilight Council. We have our Forge on the way, following the third base. This time, we do have a bit of a cleaner setup here. I say cleaner setup. This time, it's going to be an earlier Forge. Last game, it was a later Forge, which led into more Stalker aggression in Game 1 on Winter Madness. This led into MaxPax applying a lot of pressure to the fourth base of Solar. It looks like that might not be the case this time, though. As the Oracles do move out. So far, no major damage. 2 kills on the one Oracle, 0 on the other. So far, Solar does defend. Solar's keeping up. A safety roach. Oh, I say safety roach one. Hidden roach one behind the natural here. The Solar, and we're going for the all-in. Let's go. We're going for the German taxi. As we mentioned, all-ins are going to be favored on this map. I assumed it was going to be a Hydra-based all-in, but no, we're going for the taxi. We have Overlord Speed on the way. Queens are amassing. We're going to load up, but we're going to send everything across the map, and we'll see if MaxPax can survive. Oh boy. We'll see if we can survive, we'll see if we can defend. Now, I will say that the 3-base setup here isn't too bad, so I'm a little bit surprised we're going for such early of an all-in, but Solar, he's committing. Back at home, shield batteries are on the way. Cancellation on the gases. It's on MaxPax to confirm. And he will spot the move out. Yeah, he spots the roaches, he knows. Gets Revelation. Here come the Queens. Solar commits. And this is the Solar that we know and love. Like, Solar, he's very fond and very known for these 3-base all-ins. Back at home, more cannons, more shield batteries. Blink is still not yet done. Still a ways away. And either Solar kills MaxPax or he dies trying. From here, diving in the army. Queens, they drop in, shows some miles. Oh, gets a cannon. Okay, cannon takes a lot of hits. Queens are a little bit far back, as the cannon barely does go down. Zoning back the Oracles. And this survey should be forfeits. I say that, cannon's still up. Now the Archers Pylon should be going down. Yep, does depower everything. Army zoned away, third base is falling. And we're just rallying. We're still just rallying across the map. Still more lings. And the third will fall. Third will fall. Behind this, we're joining up. Droning, saturating. Solar, he's macroing from here. Spreading more creep, ensuring that MaxPax cannot expand. So even if Solar doesn't kill MaxPax, he's crippled it. Like, MaxPax is crippled. Here, Solar pulls away. And again, we can just chill. We can just chill. We can just drone. Queens, can they make it back home? We're spreading creep. Oh. Oh, even just maintaining this position just to keep spreading creep here. Just deny the base. Oh no! Lings are going to surround. That's going to be 3, 4, 5 Stalkers falling. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal damage. Meanwhile, Ling drop into the main base, distracting MaxPax. Shield battery does fall. And MaxPax, he's essentially all in here. Back at home, Solar getting a 4th base, still droning, still saturating, getting into roach speed, getting into upgrades. Building up into a longer game, and it's going to be a very, very difficult game to recover here for MaxPax. We'll see if he can. Does get a queen. MaxPax, oh jeez, takes the linear third. Okay, bold move. Bold move. Gets a linear expansion. We'll see if we can hold on to it. We'll see if Solar even does recognize what's going on. Solar, he is a little bit vulnerable here. MaxPax is committing. That's a lot of Stalkers. So if you think Stalkers moving in, Link production has begun. Solar, has he been a little bit too greedy? Nah, it should be okay. Oh my god. Should be okay. Lings, they harass across the map. They find the third. They catch up more probes. In chat 4 oracles. Yes, 4. I mean, the fact that we have so many oracles is just because the all-in, right? To defend, to have something to defend, to survive, was forced to make more. As he had to make whatever he could to defend the third base. Speaking of, Storm is done. Okay. Storm is complete. Solar getting ready for a Baneling run by. Baneling's morphing in. MaxPax, does he notice? Does he pay attention? Oh, does pull away. It pulls away. Banelings, they connect with the Sack Defense. 5 probe kills. Does force out an Archon. Nice stasis. Stasis goes off. The base is getting up. MaxPax, can he recover? He's not there yet, but he's getting there. And he's looking to stabilize. He has +2. Solar, he's maxing out. Okay. So Solar, he's cutting workers at 66. That is 3 base saturation. So cutting workers at 3 bases. And he's maxing out with Ling, Bane, Roach Ravager. Basically a second all-in, a second wave for Solar. He's choosing not to take up into Hydras, not to get a Hive. Not to think further ahead. He's doubling down on Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Zealots, they do break through. Sorry, get on top of the Zealots, I should say. Dust around. Jeez, there's still a lot of Storms though. There's 6 High Templar. And Solar, looks like he is recognizing that he maybe cannot break MaxPax. Now we get the Hydra Den. Hydra Den is now on the way. This is Solar admitting that he maybe won't kill MaxPax. So it's a late Hydra Den, late tech. MaxPax is very secure. He's still spread thin, and Solar can go for the 4th instead. Oh. Ooh, brutal stasis. Stasis traps, they keep connecting. Here is zoning away. Lings, they come in from behind. Banelings likewise into the middle line. Once again, MaxPax does react, does pull away, but he's getting surrounded. Oh my god, the High Templar barely do make it out though. Nice Storms. And MaxPax is holding. He's holding on, he's surviving. Once again, we do see the 4th base is getting up. I do feel like Solar could have rotated, could have shut it down, but alas, is fixated on the 3rd. And Solar, he has to keep the pressure up. He has to keep it up. Hydra upgrades are on the way. Yeah, now he's focusing over towards the 4th base. He's He's rallying across, and this is where MaxPax is much weaker. This is where he's much more vulnerable. Army's moving in. Storms, they try to buy some time. MaxPax coming in from behind. So he has to be careful. Once again, forcing out more storms. Nice defense against the Banelings. Solar still got 8 probe kills. Still 8 probes, picks up a couple of Archons, more probes going down. They're still trading, and behind this, switching out of Roach Ravager into Hydra. Into ideally Lurker tech. We don't have a Lurker Den yet. Yeah, still no Lurkers. Solar still rallying. Still rallying across. Means they do keep up with the Oracles at least. Just the creep is insane as well. Base goes down. Oracles are very low. They snipe the Queens. Oof. As Bands, they're finally getting damage. 9 more probes going down. The base falls. MaxPax again is still being spread thin. As we mentioned, it's so difficult to defend on 4 bases here on the Old Republic. And even though MaxPax has been surviving, that's all he's been doing here, is just treading water. Solar, he's still maxed. Or soon to be maxed. Okay, we have the mothership. The ship has arrived. Ling Bane into the midline. This time there's no way out. No! Not this time. Massive connections. Mineral line goes down. This time Solar gets in. Rambai is dealt with. Solar, he reacts. Defense against Rambai. 21 probe kills. He finally got in. So this time he surrounds the army once again. Mass Biles. Oof. Takes down the Oracles. Takes down some of the High Templar as well. Solo, he's going to be careful. Has to back off. Back off, regroup. Again, MaxPax is all in. Remember, MaxPax is all in. He cannot replenish his army. Time is working in Solo's favor. He has to take it slow. Take it slow. Just engage, pull away, remax, rebuild, rinse and repeat. And there's still a lot of storms. Oh no! The cut. Not paying attention to White Templar go down to 2. Down to 0. Warping in one more. One more Templar's on the way. I mean, MaxPax is gaining ground. Another Ling run by. GG, MaxPax, he breaks through again, 32 probes, but Solar unable to build up, and MaxPax with an impressive comeback. GG, ties up the series. GG, well played. Solar, he did need a little bit more time. He did not save his base, he did not save his mineral line, and a really impressive defense from MaxPax, specifically at that linear third. We saw that time and time again, Solar, he was trying to hammer away at that third base, and he was really struggling until the very end. Until the very end, he finally got into the mineral line. It took him a long time to rotate over towards the 4th base on the right hand side, which eventually he more easily broke. But again, did invest quite heavily here into just purely that lair tech army. He never teched up into lurkers. He never got into the hive tech or anything like that. GG. GG, well played. We have a back and forth. Whew, we have a back and forth. I would say that Solar may be tunnel visioning a little bit there. I mean, it's one of two things. Either he could have teched up faster, or again, he could have backed off from that 3rd base and tried to hit the 4th base more often, tried to hit the area in between the natural and the 3rd base as well. But it feels like it's one of those things where we're still getting used to the maps in that case. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game 3, and again, a very impressive recovery here for MaxPax to hang in there for as long as he could. And even though towards the end he didn't have any more longevity there, he was taking some better fights and was able to break the main bases of Solar. GG, well played. Oh, and hopefully everything's okay. As the upper semis is underway. And we might have a moment here. Oh. Un momento. Okay, now we're good. We are good. Oh, sorry, I missed part of a conversation, so I was like, what's happening? But we are jumping into game 3. Game 3 is going to be on Celestial Enclave. Oh, another one of these larger maps. Another one of these larger maps here, but we are jumping into game number 3. Going to be jumping into Celestial Enclave. This is a map that we haven't seen enough of. Like, we've been running it in our tournaments for quite some time, but it often gets vetoed. It is a very large map, but it is more of an open map in some aspects. We'll get into it. It's not as extreme as the Old Republic, though, for sure. Not as extreme. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of a Celestial Enclave, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming, tying up the series 1-1. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg player himself from South Korea, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. They did ask for a small break before this game, but we're good. We are good to go. And welcome to Celestial Enclave. Now, unlike the previous map where it is more difficult to maintain your fringe bases, and we did see MaxPax struggle to maintain a fourth, he just went for a 3-base all-in, or even a 2-base all-in. Here, it is easier here to get up on 4 bases. We have the pocket expansion. Now, this pocket base is half a base. Bear that in mind. So you often take this later on as a 3rd or as a 4th or as a 5th. Meanwhile, we have our natural here on the right hand side. The natural is also very secure. There's high ground coming into the natural, so really secure initial 3 bases. We have the 4th base here on the left hand side, also on the high ground. Also, we do have limited attack paths coming in. You can knock down these rocks, and likewise, if there's harassment, you can pull your workers away through this mineral wall in towards your own pocket base. Remember, this is a worker wall, so only workers can move through this patch. Bear that in mind. Lings can't move through it. Marines can't move through it either. So you can evacuate. So I will say that your initial 4 bases here, you're quite close together, quite close knit, easier rotations, relatively easy to defend. It is your 5th base. Your 5th base, whether it's the low ground 5th on the right, low ground 5th in the center, whether it's the forward bases up here as well, they are much more vulnerable, much more exposed, much more difficult to maintain. And again, I say 4 bases, really it's 3.5 because this is only half a base as well. So this is more of one of those macro maps where you can turtle up on like 3.5 bases quite well, but then afterwards, that's when things get a little bit more difficult. Because of this, I would say that we shouldn't be seeing an all-in out of Solar. I like that he went for an all-in last game on the Old Republic, and he still was successful, right? Like, he killed the 3rd base, he crippled the economy eventually. But again, maybe tunnel visioning a little bit too much there from Solar when it comes to committing into Hydras, but not quite taking up any further, or even droning up any further either. Like, there was a lot of desperation there of Solar to try to kill MaxPax, and took some really rough engagements as a result. But here, I would expect to see something similar to Game 1 on Winter Madness, with Solar being quite greedy tech-wise and taking up in towards Lurkers, right? Like droning up to Hive Tech, into Lurker Tech, and having that big power spike with Lurkers is kind of what we're expecting here instead. But we'll see. Another option, of course, as we mentioned on Winter's Madness, is Muta play, right? Going for a Hidden Spire and going for Mutas is also going to be an option for Solar. Is going to be an option. Meanwhile, a big shout out to the Salt Flats. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gifted sub, I should say. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Thank you. What is happening with the constant ads? Screen's like 2 centimeters from the corner of the screen. Do apologize. I mean, that's a bit out of our control. I don't know what Twitch is doing necessarily when it comes to the ads. We don't really run ads on our channel, but there are pre-rolls, from my understanding. There are pre-rolls. Do apologize. She was seriously start watching some of these games. Yeah, I think there was a comment earlier. Was it? It's not necessarily the, like, I mean, a League Elect is a tool to use, especially if you don't watch StarCraft. Like, you can use a League Elect to kind of like to kind of fill up some of that context. But like when it comes to Solar versus MaxPax, I mean, Solar, he has brought down MaxPax quite a few times in recent times as well, and has been varying up his builds. This time we do have an early Eva chamber into +1 melee, so we do see a more Ling Hydra heavy composition out of Solar. But as we mentioned before, we're expecting Solar to drone up and to build up into a longer game this time, just because of the map itself, assuming that Solar has a little bit more experience with Celestial Enclave. Assuming he recognizes how defendable it is. We can see that MaxPax does actually expand linearly, actually, so he does not break through those rocks, does not expand towards that top side. Interesting setup here. Now, this does mean that this third base is more accessible. True. It's much more open. You can attack here in between the third and natural. You can attack here on the right-hand side. You can, of course, harass from the right-hand side as well. So, interesting choice. We'll see where he takes a fourth and if he continues to expand in a linear pattern, as he is yet to take the pocket base. But again, you want to keep your poker base until like a fourth or a fifth. You don't want to take it early. Oh, and there it is. We're going for the Spire. Let's go. If you recall, I assumed that we're going to be seeing a Spire on Winter Madness, but we're seeing it here instead. If we can keep it hidden, the Spire, the mutas, they can pop off. They can wreak havoc. Stalkers, they're blinking in towards the pocket. Nice stasis. Yeah, stasis trap does complete. Oh. MaxPax gonna get baited. We're trying to keep up. We have 26 Lings in production. We're running out of Zerglings. Queens are exposed. Barely the Solar, he does defend, at the same time dropping in towards the pocket. So Solar going for his own counter harass. And more importantly, even though, yes, we're harassing, the Spire so far is still hidden. Spire still hidden. Lings, they distract in the main, they get a Stalker, not bad. And again, there's a lot of potential here for Solar. Spire's done. Spire's done. We have 12 mutas on the way. Up. Ooh, stasis goes off. Stasis does go off. These Stalkers are trading well for themselves, and we have to make a choice. What do we do with the mutas? Do we rally to defend against the Stalkers, or do we rush across the map to get economic damage? I mean, Stalkers are backing off regardless. Mutas are amassing here in the top left. They're making the way over. Back at home, we do see there is a safety cannon here in the pocket base due to the drop harass. Nothing in the main. Where are we headed? I would want to see these mutas go straight into the main base, but they will hit the pocket. They'll find some damage. They get one probe. Yeah, one probe so far. There we go. More probes going to be falling. Stalkers, they do react. And mutas, they get into the main. We have much more damage here. Getting 13. 13 probe kills. Orca positioning for the Stalkers. SimCity working against MaxPax. Meanwhile, War Prism here towards the pocket base as well. MaxPax setting up for some harass. So far, these mutas, they have done well. Oh, jeez, how many mutas do we have? 24. It's gonna be 29. 29 mutas. It's the pocket. Solar, he's almost maxed out. Now, bear this in mind that the supply does lie here. Solar, he's maxing out with Ling Muta, but this is mainly a harassing army. In a head-on fight, this is going to be a little bit weaker, especially against Storm, especially against Archons. So if MaxPax can build up a very heavy Storm Archon army, this actually could be very similar to the last game. What happened in the last game when MaxPax, he was losing bases, he was losing mineral lines. Remember, the game ended with MaxPax with 32 probes. He didn't have an economy, but what did MaxPax have? He had an army, right? He had a main army, a lot of Archons, a lot of High Templar. So MaxPax, he may lose bases, he may lose mineral lines, but he could still win the game. Oh, he's going to be leading out a lot of Stalkers. At the same time, War Prism to the main base is dealt with. Mutas get another mineral line. Even catching a couple of Archons. Nice magic boxing. Getting two. Yeah, 2 Archons go down and MaxPax is split. Yeah, his army is split up. Attacking with half, defending with the other. High Templar going down. Massive losses here for MaxPax. And Solar, he's doing it. Solar, at this point, he is doing it. Catching up with 3 High Templar, the Archons as well. GG gets called, and Solar will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. There was potential for MaxPax to build up that core army, but instead he split up his forces, harassed with some, defended with others. He got picked apart. GG. GG, well played. With that Solar, he'll take a 2-1 lead, and with that Solar, he is 1 game away from claiming the series. Let's go. And once again, what map are we going to be loading into? So far, the maps have been dictating how our players have been approaching this, especially Solar. Game 1 on a larger map, we did see Solar go in towards that late game, getting into that lurker timing. We saw in Game 2 on a more vulnerable map, Solar did go for an all-in, which he did do a lot of damage, but was unable to get the kill on MaxPax. Here in Game 3 on another larger map, we did see Muta play out of Solar. Now we're loading into another larger map. Again, there's a lot of large maps in this tournament map pool. Up next, we're loading into Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map, also very large. Also, I would say it has some more open bases as well. So this is another map where, if we didn't just see mutas last game, I would say that mutas would be viable here, but we just saw them, so we shouldn't be seeing mutas twice in a series, or twice in a row in a series. So less of a chance for there to be mutas here, more of a chance for us to get into, like, say, a 4-base economy into lurker tech. We'll see. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the Danish Protoss player. With the Danish Protoss, we have the Red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming down in the series. Ooh. There we go. Down in the series, we'll see if we can force the ace match. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom side, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg for Team Falcons. It is Solar. Go. Let us go. Meanwhile, big shout out to Aegon Dunter. Thank you so much, Papi God. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 4 months. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft as we are getting into game number 4. And again, welcome to Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map. Let's go. So it is going to be a 3-player spawn map. MaxPax, he will scout topside and he will find that Solar is nowhere to be found. It's going to be Hatch Gas Pool out of Solar. Now, Mothership isn't just a 3-player spawn map. This is a much larger map compared to Lost Fantasy. Very, very large map. A lot of bases, a lot of space. At the same time, the defensive position here is a little bit more open. Your initial 3-base setup is relatively secure, at least until these rocks get knocked down. When you take your 4th base, as we should be expanding away from the Zerg player, it's also a little bit more open, bearing in mind that here this is a floor. It's not like dead space or anything like that, so it's a very wide angle of attack coming into the 4th base. Likewise, the 5th base option is also a little bit more open as well, so it does allow for aggressive options, does allow for a more aggressive response out of Solar. I'm not saying we'll necessarily go for a 3-base all-in here, but we could be seeing Solar just embrace a longer game and try to take to the late game against MaxPax, as he'll have a harder time turtling. He should have a harder time turtling up.
Game paused.
As we have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully everything's okay. Let's get into Mothership. This is the coolest looking map. It is pretty cool. There's like 3D printing, like Colossus all over the place. There's it's a really nice like aesthetic, like playing on a Mothership. It makes me want to see the same aesthetic like for all the races, like the idea of playing on a battle cruiser or playing in a Leviathan or something like that. Like it's a little bit surprising, like we're this long into the game and the idea of like playing on a Mothership here, it sounds like a no-brainer, but yeah, it's really cool, and hopefully it opens the door for something like that, right? Hopefully it does open the door for some more aesthetic choices. Here we go. Dead Space myself a top spawn, or are there sky blockers like the marine armor? There are blockers. Hold on, I'll show it off here. So as you can see the shields. So on the minimap it looks like there's space, but there isn't. You can see here that there are air blockers, specifically air blockers. So top right doesn't have like anything behind it. Likewise, neither does top left. Like this space here is inaccessible. So it looks different on the minimap, but just on the minimap. You have to get inside the Leviathan, papi. Ah, let's go. Oh no. But it'd be a nice aesthetic, and yeah, it does open the door for that sort of thing. Imagine a Terran map where Tychus Finley is being given the marine armor. I think we've had some prison maps before. There was a map in the TLMC 21 map contest, which was an Ewok prison facility, which is crazy. Plays it back. I say Ewok. I don't know if there are any Moopies here. There might be, but I'm sure you've seen them, right? Like there are like StarCraft version of Ewoks that are around. And unironically, one of the maps in the TLMC map contest, but imagine here, instead of like these little like warping pads, imagine like a bunch of cages. Imagine like a wall of cages here and a wall of cages here and here, like surrounding the main bases. Basically, they're just massive like cages surrounding the main bases with Ewoks inside. I was like, mate, what's going on, bye? What's going on? It was crazy. It was crazy. There's another one. There was another map with like an Ewok sacrificial altar. That wasn't a part of the map, but it was like here. It was like in the dead space, like for like a bit of flair. But it was like a big like blood sacrifice altar with like Ewoks like surrounding it and stuff. I was like, mate, it's a big meme for the map makers. For those who don't know, but it's a big meme to like incorporate Ewoks and make use of them in some way and have some fun with it. Similarly on it's a more cuter version on Satellite Years. I think it's on Satellite Years. Maybe no. On the other one of the other maps in our tournament map pool, that was a part of the top 16, which has Ewoks like taking flights. Like there's like big like hot air balloons, and they're like going into space with like space hot air balloons. It's like, yeah, it's cute. They've all got their little moopy stories. But here we go. For the time being, though, we do have hello. A Robo opener. Okay, Robo into Twilight Council. I believe this should be for an Archon drop. I believe it's going to be Robo into Twilight Council into Templar Archives, War Prism into Archon drop across the map. That's what this looks like, I should emphasize. So we'll see if we do commit into a delayed Archon drop with High Templar with a Templar Archives. Meanwhile, Solar back at home is going into the early Eva Chamber into +1 melee into a more Ling Hydra heavy composition. In the latest patch, we have seen more Ling Bane Hydra instead, as Banelings are more viable here. Yep, there's that Prism. Oh, did cancel for a moment. There we go. Prism's on the way. Twilight Council's almost done. Into our Templar Archives, into the High Templar, into Archons. There it is. There's the Templar Archives. So this was a very trendy build amongst the European Protosses. I'm talking about like Skillus, Geralt, Christiana, MaxPax as well. This build never really hit its stride amongst the Koreans. Like herO, Classic, Zaun, and Nightmare never really embraced this. Oh. Who is it? No, I'm still here. No. Stay with me, Papi. Stay with me. Okay, we're good. Whew. Jesus. I'm connected to Twitch. I'm connected to OBS fine. BattleNet. Don't kick me out. Alright, we're okay. We're okay. Jesus. Feels BattleNet, man. But again, this was a very popular build amongst the Europeans, especially at the beginning of the year. So think of like January, February, March, like era of StarCraft at the start of the year. This does allow for, of course, the Archon drop harassment. It does also lead into Storm. It does lead into a more like robust, like Archon Immortal heavy composition. Speaking of Immortals are amassing as we speak, so again, just building up that Archon Immortal army as the Archon drop is moving in. And again, this is designed to harass, deny creep tumors, deny overlords, try to trade with the queens, get into mineral lines. First screen goes down. Nice pickup. Late transfuse. MaxPax pokes in, pulls away. And we're going for an all-in. Okay, so Solar, he responds to this with an all-in. We're going for, this is very similar to what we saw in the Old Republic. So we're going for Queens, we're going for the German Taxi, Drop Lords, Overlord Speed as well. It's all or nothing. No charge. This is why this can hit quite hard here. Oh, as Lings, they get us around. They get us around, they do snipe the Immortal just barely. No shield battery. No shield battery. Shields are triggered, and the all-in is coming. The all-in is upon us. Behind this, there's no charge, there's no blink, there's no glaive depths, there's no Twilight Council upgrade, of course, but we are making 2 Immortals at a time. True, like the Immortal count will spike up very, very quickly. There's going to be a lot of Immortals and, of course, a lot of Storm. So, will this work out here? It's going to be close. It's going to be clutch. I mentioned earlier that the area here in between the bases is quite wide. But there's still going to be a lot of Storms. Storm is done. There's 4 High Templar. Roaches, they do get caught up. They head into the natural. Immortal gets surrounded. No shield batteries. Yeah, still no shield batteries. Immortal barely saved thanks to the Prism. Nice control. Shield batteries are finishing. Queens, they're being unloaded. And the Archon barely gets picked off. Nice snipe. Archon goes down. We're running out of Storms. 1 Storm left. 2. Yeah, 2 Storms left. That was 1. 1 Storm remaining. The army gets zoned away. He's getting cornered. That's the final Storm. Yeah, the final Storm in the middle line. Archons are morphing in. And Solar, he's going for the kill. He's going for the kill. Going for the throats. Queens are waddling in as well. Boys are being pulled. Now, true, last time we saw this, MaxPax did recover, but this time he's also losing his army. Not just the base. As he's cornered. I mean, nice juggling here out of MaxPax. Very nice juggling. Yeah, juggling is hard out. It's going to be 21 probe kills. He's got 5 Immortals. Can we kill it? Sorry, 4 Immortals. Yeah, and MaxPax is actually holding. He's defending. Again, it's a lot of Immortals. Yeah, Solar, he does pull back. We have more Immortals coming in. MaxPax with 6 Immortals. Can he hold on? Storm zones away. And again, these roaches, they struggle to kill the immortals. Yeah, all the roaches are going down. MaxPax is holding. He's holding on, badly. We're getting another warp in. And Solar, he will lose the army. He has to back the hell up. We'll lose all the queens. And what's important here is that MaxPax, he will save the third. He will save the expansion. And he's building up a terrifying army with a heavy immortal count. Now remember, Solar's still all in. Solar, he's still rallying, still reinforcing. He's not running up. But has Solar lost too much? Again, he's up to 7. He's up against 7 immortals. He needs lings. He needs Zerglings, Pappy. And it rotates, knocks down these rocks. Do you have the attempt to drop into the main? Storms are amassing. Without storms, I can see Solar pulling this off. Against storms, it's going to be difficult. Remember, the army is small for MaxPax, but it's very high tech. It's very efficient. Lings, they collapse in. There's one more storm. Oh my god, storm lands. Storm does land. High Templar going to be going down. Nice juggling on the immortals once again. Where are the lings? Yeah, no Zerglings. No Zerglings. The immortals, they defend. You can't break the massive immortal, man. It's not happening. No, not again. Jesus, okay. We're okay, we're okay. What's happening with BattleNet? Damn it, Jesus. Here we go. Now collapsing in. Lings again into the mineral line. Once again, nice juggling here with the immortals. Jesus. The control here is brutal. MaxPax, once again, he maintains almost every immortal, does keep them alive. And Solar, he's running out of steam. Remember, the longer this goes on, the worse it is for Solar. Solar, he's all in, right? And as the all in fails, it's looking that much more dire. So we're looking to force the ace match. Solar, he was so close. It was so close, Pappy. Up to 12 immortals. Ah, no. Solar collapsing in. Rushes through the storms. It does get us around. Where's the prism? Yeah, where's the war prism? Immortals are finally going down. The prism's out of position. Does race back home. And that's a lot of dead immortals. Okay, better engage here from Solar, but still not enough. Yeah, still enough here. GG gets called. MaxPax, he will defend. And we're going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We are going to the ace match here. Again, 12 immortals. That was crazy. MaxPax just microing his heart out, keeping the immortals alive, just retaining them throughout the course of the all-in, and in the end, he snowballed out of control with massive immortal. Of course, storms, they also played their parts to defend against the lings, and now we're going all the way to the final game of the series. We're getting to our final game. It all ends here. It all ends on Throne of the Dunes. Okay. Another one of these larger maps. Larger map. I would say this is a more defensive map. Much more defensive. It is easier to turtle up on 3 and 4 bases. Oh. Okay, okay. We're good. Oh, so we are getting into game number 5. How did you tell it was an all-in so early? Because of the typically when you go for, I mean, he cut workers early, right? He cut workers at like 62, I want to say. Am I crazy? But the early overload speed. Typically you don't get overload speed unless you're going for a German taxi in this matchup. Let's see, when did he cut workers? As we're loading into Throne of the Dunes. Spawning in the right-hand corner of Throne of the Dunes, we have the Danish Protoss player. The Danish Protoss, we have the red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Yeah, he got workers that's at sub 66, so that's under 3 base saturation, or like just around 3 base saturation. So he got workers at under 3 bases, 1 is overlord speed, get ready for the all-in. Not gonna lie, I'm always so amused when a Protoss tells me that Archon drop builds aren't viable. I mean, I don't think anyone says that though. Maybe at lower levels, but like, as we mentioned, we were trying to emphasize that the build that MaxPax went for was very popular at the start of the year. I would say that it is very niche. It's not like you see it every game. It's not meta, but we see it. And as I mentioned, specifically from the Europeans, like it's something that didn't catch on amongst the Koreans. It's a build we do see. And as you saw, it is vulnerable, of course. But to have the follow-up be double immortal production was crazy. And again, of course, to have the control to protect those and to defend and to preserve those immortals was a key part there of MaxPax's defense. Imagine a lesser player losing even 1 or 2 immortals early on. I mean, that would just be game. If you recall, I would have assumed that would have been the third base being broken then and there. So very impressive micro, very impressive defense out of MaxPax. Very impressive. And now we find ourselves in the ace match. Let's go. I would just switch other units after the first big fight. It is really difficult to transition out because it isn't just about like your tech that you're working with, but you're also in a very low economy. And I don't blame Solo necessarily, just because I mean he was close to breaking his opponents. He was close to breaking the third base. Of course, hindsight is 2020, where yes, like technically, if he had stopped the all-in or tried to drone up sooner and tried to transition a lot sooner, it would have worked. But that's only because we know that he failed to break the third, right? Yo, what is happening?
Game paused.
Yeah. I might just, if it happens again, I might just leave. Jesus. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm spiking up a lot. Yeah. If it happens again, I'll just leave. I'm spiking up a lot, specifically in game.
Game resumed.
I'll keep an eye on it. Actually, I'll keep an eye on it. So the ping is going down, thankfully, but it has been inconsistent. Smoosh. Yo, Void Ray opener here out of MaxPax. Does open up with the Void Ray. Twilight Council follow up here out of our Protoss player as well. What I'll do, especially if MaxPax wins this series, is I'll probably turn on my VPN. Sometimes routing to Blizzard servers is really poor, and VPNs help with that. So I'll activate my VPN after this. Have better connection to the America servers. It's gonna be Void Ray into Glaive Adepts. Okay, MaxPax, he's gonna be the aggressor this time. Let's go. Getting into Glaives. Thankfully, Solo is going for a safety Roachhorn. He's going for the Roachhorn. We're all in each other. We're all hitting each other. So we have Glaive out of MaxPax, and we have a German taxi out of Solar. How do these two armies clash? I think I favor Solar just because already he's cutting workers and he's going to commit into a heavy Roach army. So on top of that, delayed Immortal production, delayed Robo, delayed everything else. Is this just a builder to win? It comes down to the execution, of course, but I think Solar should be fine. Again, here come the Drop Lords, here come the Roaches. We're committing. It's all or nothing for Solar. Glaive Adepts to defend. I mean, again, not intended to defend. Is that just game? Yeah, here we go. Now, okay, there's a world. If MaxPax can buy time, if he can maybe buy time, but again, there's going to be so many Roaches back at home. Now Solar realizes what's been going on. Now it does realize. Adepts say bust in. Adepts are revealed, and he's like, hold up. It's like, what's going on? Okay, Solar, he has to calm down. Make use of the concave. Adepts, they're buying time behind this Blink. Blink is on the way, +1 is on the way, Stalkers are warping in as well. He commits to the shade. It does commit in. Getting up the ramp. And so the earlier he can clean this up, the sooner he can push out across the map. Adepts, they work towards the mineral line. Shading back out. And they're not getting any damage. Yeah, Adepts, they do get into the third though. Drones are finally getting picked off. No control there though. No reaction, doesn't pull away. 5 drones. 5 drone kills. It's some damage here, but Solar has a massive army. Roach speed is finishing up, so he can then counterattack. Oh. And here we go. Speaking of, we're getting ready for the counterattack. You may be looking at this. Solar does have a very low drone count. That is true. He has a very low drone count. Oh, he supply blocked. Ay, ay, ay. Now's not the time. So a big supply block for Overlords are morphing in. Yeah. Now, thankfully, they're not fighting, but I will leave. I'll leave the game. Just had a big lag spike there. Oh god. I need to open up Omioja's stream. Where are you, Pappy? But yeah, the last thing I want is to lag during a fight. Here's the last thing I want. Okay, bam. We're back. We're back. Opening a VPN. Solar, his all-in does hit. So again, shout out to Bomioja. Is of course streaming himself. Streaming himself here, but Solar, he does hit the third base. We have more Lings coming in behind this. So 20 Lings in production. They're flooding across the map. And Solar, can he break through? Blink is done. +1 is done as well. With good enough Blink Stalker control, then maybe. And where are the Queens? Yeah, there's not much chance here. Queens are now dropping in. Cybercore goes down. That's still a lot of Stalkers, though. No shot. MaxPax, he's pulling it off. Is he? Is he, though? He's being cornered. MaxPax being zoned away. Bleeding out a lot of Stalkers. Lings, they dominate. They shut down the Stalkers. GG. GG gets called. He runs out of steam there. We missed the beginning of the fight, but MaxPax, he will defend. He will defend against the all-in. And MaxPax, he will claim the series 3-2. GG. GG, well played. Unfortunately, it looks like we did miss the beginning of the fight, but regardless, MaxPax was able to hold on. Oh yeah, shout out to Bomioja. Shout out to Bomioja. MaxPax, he does defend. He does defend against the all-in, despite the Glaive Adept opener as well. I feel like things were looking in favor of Solar coming into that. But GG, and I hope that everything's okay in regards to what's happening in game. But GG, well played. GG, well played. And MaxPax, he does defend. He does take the game, and I'm going to very quickly set up my VPN. Okay. Let's go. Let us go. So that means MaxPax will advance on to the grand finals. He's going to be facing off against herO, I believe. herO? Yeah, PvP. PvP. What do we want to connect to? Americas. Save. Okay. Okay. Here we go. But yeah, routing to Blizzard servers can just be really rough at times. So I'll do my best. And hopefully it didn't impact the game too much. I will say that like thankfully we did leave before the fight began, but like it can like definitely like influence like players' mental state. Like things can get like players can get frustrated for sure, just because of latency, for sure. So it feels bad, man. Okay. We should be good here. VPN is activated. And herO versus MaxPax is getting underway. Finals Solar versus herO. Sorry, MaxPax versus herO. So hopefully this should resolve any issues here. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird day when it comes to connectivity issues. For those that weren't here for the beginning of the stream, we actually had to restart the stream because the Australian Twitch server was just dying on us. And here our connection to the American server is also a little bit shaky. So it feels bad, man, but it's all good. VPN is activated, Vitas are underway, and we'll soon be back. We'll soon be back with our grand finals. We'll be back. Are the finals best of 5? Yes, yes. Best of 5 finals. It's all good. Your castles are helpful. Oh, thank you, thank you. Do appreciate it. Appreciate the thing. Well, thank you, thank you. Gracias, baby, gracias. Okay, but should be smooth sailings here on forward. And shout out to MaxPax. Sorry, I feel like because of the connectivity issues, it kind of undercut that series. But shout out to MaxPax. MaxPax, he did do very well when it comes to defending against the aggression. Really cool to see Solar taking it all the way to the ace match. Went all the way to game 5, by the way. And honestly, I could see that going Solar's way. A lot of these games were quite close. I'm thinking of the game on Mothership, for example. I'm thinking of the game, the game that we just had, of course, and also even I'm thinking of the Old Republic. True. The Old Republic was also very close with Solar's also failed all in, but also very like again like the margins were so slim on the Old Republic. So many of those games were so close, they could have gone either way. In the end, MaxPax did take it. Now we're getting to the grand finals. We have our PvP and spawning in the top right hand corner of Celestial Enclave. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. Oh, for T1, it is a herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player for Denmark. Representing Sandstorm Gaming, it is MaxPax. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Whew, as I hold my breath to make sure that we stay connected to StarCraft. Meanwhile, big shout out to PiGosaur Cup, papi, gifting 10 subs to the community. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you, papi. Also, for those who don't know, for those who do not know, PiGosaur, he is the organizer of the event. There's a reason why this is not called the Pig Cup. It's called the PiGosaur Cup, or the PiGosaur Cup, because of Protoss Stegosaurus. He is the organizer, he is the admin. Without him, this would not be possible. Pig is a sponsor of the event, but Stegosaurus has been running the event for even longer, even before Pig was sponsoring, back when it was the Stegosaurus Cup, back when it was the Orsasaurus Cup as well. So again, big shout to Stegosaurus, a very passionate fan of StarCraft. I believe was even almost were you at SC for All? I know you were helping with the event, maybe even at the event itself, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the work that you do, for the passion, for the tournaments. Thank you, puppy. Thank you. Este Stegosaurus. He's a dinosaur. Meanwhile, we do see herO going for a more economic start. He does go for the Nexus first in the pocket base, and going for the gas seal as well. Meanwhile, MaxPax goes for the gate expand into Cybercore. So MaxPax going for his own natural, a much more valuable expansion. herO going for a greedier build, but going for a half a base instead. So we'll see if this benefits herO in the long run. herO does go for a 2-gate response, and MaxPax setting up for the proxy. Proxy what? Looks like proxy Stargate. Cybercore's back at home. I'm assuming Stargate just because of the short rush distance by air. Very short by air. Second gas on the low ground. There it is. Stargate's on the way. So MaxPax is going for the Oracle. The Oracle is designed to harass and to wreak havoc in the bases. We'll see if herO can recognize what's going on and can prepare. Now herO, oh, did he notice like a pylon, right? The second pylon was missing. Second pylon was nowhere to be found. We know that it was a proxy. herO, does he piece it together? As we have our own kind of like quirky setup. Stargate's almost done. herO, he does have some stalkers at home to defend, only some. He's fanning out. He's scouting. Yeah, he's checking. He's checking the right-hand side. He will fan on over, and it looks like herO, he will find the proxy. Very nice scouting here. Again, this is a more obvious proxy location. herO does find it, and here he will prepare back at home, getting his stalkers in position. Is the semifinal? Yeah. The semi is also best of 5. Sorry about the discount. Oh, it's okay, Bobby. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you for all the SZ for all co-stream, by the way. Oh, always. We're always there for Cheesedelphia, for NA StarCraft. Always. I was a producer, yeah. Thanks for sponsoring. Well, Pig is the sponsor. Like, Pig is the sponsor. Stegosaurus, he is the organizer. And also puts in a lot of his own money as well. True. There's going to be 4 probes going down. Decent damage here from MaxPax. Decent. Sound and video engineering. Lots of fun and a long weekend. Oh, there you go. He was the man behind the screen. He was production. From here, we do see MaxPax claiming his 3rd base. This probe does move out. Likewise, herO taking his own as well. Economy is going to be slightly in favor of MaxPax. It also helps that he has a proper base. Meanwhile, herO, again, he has half a base instead. So limited saturation is limited. Oh, true, and if you're curious where Pig is, Pig usually does cover this event, but Pig is traveling over to Canada. He's traveling to Canada to cover... Oh, sorry, he's already traveled to Canada to cover Stellarfest, which is another event that's happening in the Americas. And I believe that was this morning. I believe day 1 was this morning. Or earlier today. That makes more sense. So far, we've had a pretty passive mid-game here. As we're getting to the mid-game, again, this entire time, MaxPax has had the slightly better economy, the slightly higher probe count, I should emphasize. Now claiming his 3rd base, building up into his own Blinkstalker heavy composition. We do see that here he's taking up in towards charge. Meanwhile, MaxPax heads towards the pocket base. Hero's out of position. Oh, blinks in. Yeah, blinks in. Breaks through the stalkers, gets into the middle line. Boys are being pulled, and probes are going down. Ay, ay, ay. Again, Hero, he's racing on over, and MaxPax can just blink away. He can blink away. We'll lose one stalker in the process. Oracle back into the natural. Hero's being pulled apart. 8 up to almost 9. Here we go, 9 probes. 9 probes do go down the Oracle. Oh no! Does not get away. Nice flank out of Hero. Shuts down the Oracle. And with that, Hero, economically, he's on the gutter, right? Economically, he is struggling here. Losing so many probes. And soon this will translate, this should translate into a larger army for MaxPax. He's getting there. +1 on the way, charge as well. MaxPax taking a 4th. Again, just ignoring the pocket. Ignoring the pocket expansion. Now, when it comes to the quality of the army, I will say that even though Hero is struggling economically, he does have earlier charge. He's working on +, I mean, both players are working on +2. But Zealots, they are a very efficient unit. They're very cheap. They're great at tanking. They're going to be incorporated a little bit earlier on, and there's maybe a window in time here where Hero can try to make use of that, but MaxPax, he is catching up in regards to that upgrade. He's almost there. And Hero's just expanding. Like, Hero, he's taking a more defensive stance instead. And now you can see the supplies start to deviate. You can see MaxPax take that lead, and he should be able to extend that lead even further. From here, building up into Charge Archon Immortal. Temple Archives on the way. That's going to be for the Archon production. Charge is finishing up. The reason why you need Archons is because when it comes to the evolution of your army composition, you have initially Blink Stalker, then Blink Stalker with a Zealot support. Because Zealots can be so efficient against Blink Stalkers, you need the Archons, right? The Archons, they're the answer to the Mass Zealot. Zealots are harassing on the right hand side. Hero's in position. Hero does defend. We do trade head on. Here he does defend, he does survive, he does maintain his 4 bases. But again, MaxPax getting further ahead, warping in more units. We have a Stargate on the way for Hero. Bold move. There's a Stargate. MaxPax is moving out. We're waiting for the Warp Prism. Warp Prism's on the way. And here comes MaxPax. So here we go, we're warping in those last 2 Archons. MaxPax is about to max out, and then he can just collapse on Hero. And again, there hasn't been too much going on this game. It's just been that slight economic lead the entire game for MaxPax. And when I say slight lead, it was like a 10+ worker lead. Hero's getting called out. MaxPax has a terrifying army. And he can move in. Okay, from here, we can just push in. There's the recall. Pushing up this ramp is not going to be easy, though. Said MaxPax looking for another way in. Ooh, here he rotates over to the right-hand side. There's an opening. Yeah, there's an opening. Hero's out of position. The base is going to go down. The robo as well. Oof. Yeah, MaxPax makes his way up the ramp, getting on top of the Immortals, and should just overwhelm. Yeah, he should and he will. And with that, MaxPax, he will look to take a lead in the series. As it cleans up all the Immortals, more reinforcements on the way. Hero's down to 1 Stalker. No! Stalker doesn't blink away. GG gets called, and MaxPax takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, for the entirety of the game, MaxPax did have an economic lead, and he never lost it. Never did lose it. Just maintained that greater economy throughout the entire game. GG. GG, well played. Meanwhile, Hopefully I don't get left behind. So I just have to restart my client. Coming back, mapping, coming back. So we're getting into game 2. Okay, beautiful. Whew, okay, we're good. We're good to go. We're jumping to game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on 10,000 feet, so we go from one of the more larger macro maps into one of the more aggressive maps here. Here we go. 10,000 feet does favor aggression, a bit of a shorter rush distance by ground, likewise more exposed bases, and we're expecting to see a more dynamic early to mid game here in comparison to what we just saw on Celestial Enclave, which instead was more of like an incremental lead from MaxPax, slowly getting a better and better economy until he just overwhelmed with a larger supply. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. True. Hi. Not wrong. We are at 10,000 feet. Not like this. I do struggle with the map name. I keep wanting to say 10,000 atmospheres. Especially early on during the TLMC voting phase. It was a struggle. But yes, the other direction. The other way. So far we are going to be opening up. This time there's no pocket base to tempt us. There is a third base here on the right hand side that can be taken a little bit later on. For the most part, your 2-base setup is relatively secure. And we have 2 gate opener out of herO, likewise 2 gate opener out of MaxPax. 2 gate openers all around. But herO does fan out with his probe. Hello, you have my attention. So it looks like here he will hide his pylon. You can see here this little alcove on the left hand side. This is either going to be a fake proxy pylon or a proxy Stargate. When it comes to proxy Stargate locations, the more obvious location would be here outside of the main base, would be here a little bit further outside of the main base, all the way on almost hero's side of the map. This is where it's a little bit harder to really scout, so unlikely for MaxPax to find this. The downside, of course, is that it's a little bit further away, so it takes a little bit longer for the Oracle to get into the main, for the Oracle to harass. But the Cybercore is done, and we are expecting said Stargate. Now, technically, the other option this could be is a proxy Twilight Council into proxy Dark Shrine, but there we go. We do have these Stargates. Let's go. So Stargate into Oracle, into harass. This is not an all-in. This is just a way to gain an economic lead. MaxPax is checking, but as you mentioned, yeah, he's checking the more obvious location. So he's checking here at the forward, kind of like 5th base location, and then checking the 3rd base location. Like, these are the 2 more obvious locations, and he will not find the proxy. So he's rotating in. Meanwhile, we have a Stargate opener defensively back at home, so regular Stargate opener out of MaxPax. He could just blindly go Phoenix, which would be crazy, but possible. Perhaps they do not get into the main. They don't quite get in. Oracle's on the way, just about to finish up here for herO. Meanwhile, we do have an Oracle opener out of MaxPax as well. Yo, can we get a Stalker? Stalker's under fire. Here he wants it. The probe does scout the Oracle. Back at home, do we get a warp in? The boys are pulled away. Yeah, the boys are pulled away. Quick reaction here by MaxPax. Does pull back to the shield battery. But MaxPax still has 0 economy. Oh my god. 0 mining in the main. Again, MaxPax caught with his pants down. He has to wait for the Oracle, wait for the Stalker. Now he can transfer, but again, so much lost mine time in the main base. Ay. Very nice damage here by herO. He doesn't kill anything, but he does deny so much mining. Does find one probe. Second Oracle will rise, but last there is a Phoenix. herO doubling back around. Ooh, may lose an Oracle. Yeah, the Oracle does fall. Nice pick up here by MaxPax. Second one gets into the main base, going for the stasis. MaxPax, he does react in time, does pull away. And where exactly are we here? With MaxPax saving his own Oracle, with MaxPax hunting down the second Oracle as well. I want to give the edge to MaxPax, kind of. I mean, I say that herO does have the slightly better economy, true. He's up by 3. In the end, that's what matters here. He's up by 3 workers, so he has a slight economic lead. Let's say 3 is up by 4. So here he has a better economy. Ooh, meanwhile, the probes, yeah, they're locked into the main. Here he has faster blink, so he's ahead. So here he has the better economy, and he has faster tech as well. What does MaxPax have? Now, he still has potential for damage. He still has the Oracle, and he has the Phoenix. So we can still find some more damage. As there's the Oracle for MaxPax. Here he's vying for map control. He's rallying across the map. Remember, here he has the earlier blink timing. He has the higher stalker count. And here he's pushing here and now. How many stalkers to defend? 3. So MaxPax, he has less than half the stalker count. And here he's moving in. Can he 2-shot? Yeah, he can. He can 2-shot. Ooh, he'll lose one of the stalkers. Yeah, one stalker goes down. But here he can just keep applying pressure. Defends against the Phoenix. Oracle dips in. It's 1. Gets 1 probe. MaxPax lost 4. And when behind a Dark Shrine. Okay. We have DTs on the way for MaxPax. Let's go. I believe we still have an Oracle. No, never mind. Here he lost his Oracle. So currently 0 detection, at least until the robo does finish. So robo's on the way. MaxPax does have a reputation in PvP for DTs, so here is working towards that. Here blinks in. Jesus. Oh my god, snipes the Oracle. Not bad. Nice snipe on the Oracle. A bit of miscontrol there by MaxPax. Throws away a Stalker. Every Stalker does count. Oh, blinks in, going for the dive. And he gets 1, 2, 3 more Stalker kills. Aye, this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand, getting out of control. And picking on more probes, getting another Stalker. And this is quickly becoming game-winning damage. As MaxPax cannot keep up. The Hail Mary play is going to be the Dark Shrine. But there's already an Observer. Yeah, here comes the defensive DT. Defensive Dark Templar. Here he blinks away. Being as efficient as possible. Now we have the 1 Dark Templar. So the 2. He's moving up back at home. We have plenty of observers. We have 1 here between the bases, 1 at the 3rd. And GG. GG gets called. herO will tie the series 1-1. GG. Whew. We have a back and forth. We have a series. Again, herO, he was able to take an early economic lead, maintain it, of course, and with that lead, he was hyper aggressive. He had the earlier Twilight Council, earlier blink timing, and herO was very in the face of MaxPax, ensuring he would cripple MaxPax before he had a chance to recover. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was just a really unfortunate start for MaxPax because he did miss the Stargate. He missed the proxy. If you recall, he was scouting. That's why there was no shield battery in the main base mineral line. He believed there was no proxy. He believed there was no Stargate at least, but alas, was mistaken. And now we're getting to game 3. We're getting into game 3. Just catching up in the chat. And game 3 is going to be on Tidal Citadel. It's going to be another one of these larger maps. The size of the map I feel like matters a little bit less in PvP just because of the warping mechanic. But it is going to be a larger map. Let's go. go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss tying up the series 1-1 in that last game. For T1, it is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. For Sidestone Gaming, it is MaxPax. Here we go. We're getting into our PvP. We're getting into game number 3 to determine who will take a lead in the series. We're tied up 1-1, and we'll keep an eye on the openers of choice as well. Last game, we had 2 gate openers. Of course, herO was able to pop off with the proxy Stargate, with the proxy Oracle. This time, do we proxy? Do we not? As so far, both games, game 1, MaxPax went proxy Stargate. Game 2, it was herO. Game 3, do we proxy at all? Do we not? As MaxPax does move out. Does move out with the early scout. Does spot the probe. Eyes are on herO. MaxPax is checking for the proxy or for the pylon location. Here he does deviate towards the left-hand side. I don't know if you noticed, but herO, his initial trajectory for his probe was actually pushing towards the right, and then once he got down to the low ground, he did move over towards the left-hand side instead. So he knows that MaxPax saw the probe moving towards the right-hand side, so he proxies in the center, actually leaning towards the left. So MaxPax, he will confirm that a pylon is missing, and in MaxPax's mind, he should first be checking the right-hand side instead. As he's going for a gate cyber expand, oh, greedy build out of MaxPax. Here, he's blindly going for a 1-base all-in. This is not a Stargate, this is something more committed. There it is, a Robo 1-base all-in, and you can see MaxPax checks the right-hand side. Remember, he saw the probe heading in this direction, that's why he's checking here. So does check the right-hand side first. Then he's going to rotate over towards the left, and he will miss the proxy dead set in the center. And again, MaxPax is going for a greedy build. He's going for a faster nexus, faster second base. The Stargate does help. He can make Void Rays defensively, but alas, the Robo, the Immortals are coming. And you can see MaxPax checking for the proxy Stargate on the right-hand side as well. He does move forward and he will find it. There we go. He does confirm. He does confirm, but the Robo is already done. The all-in is coming his way. Void Ray here to defend. Now, Void Rays, they have their place in the early game, specifically in this kind of situation. You need Void Rays to defend. It's the only way. And even then, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy here. Void Rays are not as ideal compared to Immortals, just because they're quite heavily reliant on their prismatic alignment. Immortals on the way. Sentries are rallying. Here, he's forced to make a shield battery in the main. At F-Say, get into the middle line. 2 at F-Say, one-shot probes. They will. They go on. They get, 2. 2, 3, getting up to 4 kills. Getting up to 5. Oh, not just 4. As F-Say, shade out. Shades out, he shades away. Reinforcing sentries have arrived. And he can always force field the ramp. He's holding on to those force fields. Second Void Race coming in. There's so far 2 shield wires on low ground. At F-Stay, commit. Gets into the main. More probes are going down. Yeah, more economic damage. More probe kills. 4, 5, 6 pro. Oh god, this is getting out of hand. Yeah, it's becoming too much. As he can cancel the shade. Yep, does cancel. Oh, and MaxPax is getting crippled here. 8 probes. 9. 9 probe kills. MaxPax down to 15 workers. Yes, he has 2 bases, but his economy is worse. His economy is struggling, but he's building up his Void Rays. True. He's up to 3. Up to 3 Void Rays. That's still a lot of Stalkers. herO does move in. Shields are activated, saves the Immortal. Now what I like here, do you notice? Prismatic Alignment activated on just one Void Ray. He's holding on to 2. As we mentioned before, the big weakness of a Void Ray defense is your Prismatic Alignments. You have to rely on it quite heavily, so it's good to stagger. You have to stagger your Prismatic Alignments. There we go, it does have 82. But alas, the numbers not in his favor. Shield batteries are depowered. Depowered to shield batteries, Void Rays are exposed. GG gets called as herO overwhelms, and herO will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Ooh, GG, well played again. herO, I mean, sure, the all-in was nice, but the harass, the adept harass was insane, killing so many workers and crippling MaxPax. He could not keep up, he could not maintain his army. GG. Couldn't warp in, couldn't afford to, and herO is 1 game away from claiming the series. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Cosmos. Papi, Cosmos. Fala galera, papi. Gracias, obrigado. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream, hope you had a great ladder session, hope you had a great time, and welcome to the finals of the PiGosaur Cup. Welcome to the finals here of PiGosaur Cup number 56. As herO, he's up at 2-1. Oh, my apologies. Looks like there we go. herO's up 2-1, and herO, he's 1 game away from claiming the series. The pressure is on MaxPax. Pressure is on. Here we go. But obrigado. Cosmos. Thank you. As we are getting into our next game. As we are loading into Mothership. And spawning in the bottom side of Mothership, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. Oh, the Blue Protoss himself. Leading the series 2-1 for T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming down in the series. He has to win here and now to force the ace match. It is MaxPax. Here we go. Here we go. And again, thankfully, we haven't had any like connectivity issues ever since we turned on our VPN. So that's a bit of a PSA out there. Like, routing to Blizzard StarCraft servers is not good. it's very unreliable, and very wise to have your VPN ready for that sort of thing. Smurge, papi, smurge. At least from Australia. I know that routing from Australia is not ideal. For now, though, MaxPax moves out. He will scout top right. He will confirm that herO is nowhere to be found. Welcome to Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map. Also, my apologies. I remember there was a comment made earlier, but I wasn't able to respond to it. Someone was asking, are these maps confirmed for the new ladder map pool? The answer is no. I mean, some of these maps will be a part of the new ladder map pool, but we don't have confirmation yet of which maps that's going to be. I will say it's a very safe assumption to make that Mothership will make it in, right? Mothership most likely will make it through. At the end of the day, like, TLMC voting is a popularity contest, and 3-player small maps, they get a lot of attention. So I can, Last Fantasy got first place last time. I can see Mothership getting first place, which confirms that it will be a part of the map pool. There are some maps that I assume will be, like Mothership and 10,000 feet. I think 10,000 feet is probably a sure thing as well. But we have to wait for full confirmation. In my mind, I feel like 10,000 feet, Celestial Enclave, and Mothership are probably sure things in, but we'll see. For now, herO, another proxy gateway, let's go. He's committing here into his all-in. 2 gates at home, 1 gate across the map. This is not going to be a 4-gate, sorry, this is not going to be a proxy robo, but all-in nonetheless. Meanwhile, economic opener. Oh my god, Gate Cyber expand before the Stargate. This is even greedier than last game. Very greedy build here by MaxPax. He scouts, he confirms that a pylon is missing. He is looking. You can see he's looking for the proxy, looking for the pylon. MaxPax, he knows something is wrong. Safety shield batteries on the way. And he scouts. Yeah, he scouts, he confirms, he sees the gateway. herO, he's rallying across the map. He's here to end the game. Let's go. It's all or nothing for herO. He's rallying in. The shield battery is not quite done. Does get a bit of hull damage on the adept. Now working on the shield battery. Now he has to kite back. He has to wait for his reinforcements. So far, nice control. So far, only losing shields. Hasn't taken any hull damage yet. So Void Rays on the way. Void Rays, again, they're a must to defend. But MaxPax has to be so careful. There's a force field. Sorry, there's a force field. Locks down the Adept. Adept is locked down. We're forcing energy to be spent. Adept falls. Shield waves out of energy. Now we're going for the pylon. Yeah, that's Nartosis pylon as well. Is being charged down. Nice energy overcharge. Cybercore's exposed. Sentry will fall. Sentry gets sniped. That's so many Stalkers here. That's going to be 9 Stalkers. Cybercore goes down. No more Stalkers. No more Warp-Ins. I mean, he had no Warp Gate. True. No Warp Gate. No Warp-Ins. He's making one Void Ray at a time. He's making a wall of cannons. Oh my god. Going for the pylon. Pylon does go down. Takes on the pylon. Again, there's 2 cannons behind this. Oh, snipes the Stalker. Zero does poke in. A couple of Stalkers are low. 1 Stalker gets sniped. And again, we have 2 cannons. We gotta respect the prismatic alignment. We gotta respect it. Up. Up. Okay, you can see herO being so careful with his movement. Adepts, they look to shade in. They're shading into the mineral line. Cybercore is rebuilt. And probes are falling. Yeah, probes are falling. Do we have a gateway? No gateway. Yeah, no gateway anyway. Robo's on the way. But herO, he has momentum. There's another prismatic alignment. Adepts, they shade into the main. Probes are going down. Yeah, brutal economic damage here. herO does get 1 gateway. He bleeds out a Stalker. That's 1. That's 2 Stalkers going. 3, 4 Stalker kills. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of Stalkers going down. herO does at least cripple the economy. But herO does lose a lot of momentum there. That was a bit of a careless attack from herO, but he still does have how many? 12 Stalkers. Takes down the final cannon. He's rushing in. Gets 1. Gets 1. Gets 2. There's 1 Void Ray left. And he should bring it down. Yeah, he should bring it down. The final Void Ray does fall. And with that, he's done it. GG gets called. herO, he breaks the defensive line. And herO, he will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's PiGosaur Cup champion. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, MaxPax going for a very greedy build. Winding it back, he went for a Gate, Cyber, Nexus before the Stargate. So a very greedy build out of MaxPax. And herO did commit into his all-in. More importantly, he was able to snipe the Cybercore, which means delayed Robo. And there was no Warp Gate, so no Warp-Ins either. MaxPax, once the Cybercore went down, that was game then and there. He was on a timer. He was able to rebuild and start his Robo, but alas, didn't have the time to actually get his Robo up and running. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to herO, as he is going to be our champion. So congratulations. Shout out to MaxPax. MaxPax, he was able to hold his own. I would say that this series, MaxPax did rely a little bit too heavily on greedy builds on the faster bases. This is something that MaxPax stopped doing a couple of months ago, but recently he has started up again. I'm not too sure why. I think he just wants to vary things up and be unpredictable, but he is vulnerable to all-ins as a result because of this. Again, back in the day, a couple of years ago, or really a year ago, MaxPax, he was known for this build. He was known for going for this this gateway into Cybercore, into Stargate, into Nexus, into Stargate, or Stargate into Nexus. He was known for this greedy build, and he would often have amazing defense, but it's a new patch, right? Times have changed. Shield battery overcharge was removed. Now we have the energy overcharge instead, and that has weakened the defensive prowess of MaxPax. It's been forcing him to go for more 2-gate openers, which we saw a couple of times in this series. But again, he's been mixing in this more greedy style, and it is weaker than it once was. It is weaker, it is more vulnerable, it can be punished that much more. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to herO, and a shout out to MaxPax. Shout out to Solar as well. Solar did make it to the semifinals, and honestly, I can see a world where Solar could have been here against herO instead of MaxPax, right? Like, remember, Solar had so many close and clutch games against MaxPax, very close games, but alas, in the end, did barely fall. Likewise, we had Creator. He also went to the ace match against herO as well. Didn't quite win, but did force the ace match. Sorry, did take a game, I should say. That was the best of 5. So shout out to Creator, also holding his own. Meanwhile, GG, well played. It's catching up. Oh, good. Oh, but yeah, GG well played. With that, congratulations here to herO. And with that, we're wrapping up for the morning. I say for the morning, we have another cast later on tonight. As you can see here on my right hand side, this is our schedule. This is our weekly schedule here. Very intense schedule. A lot of matches, a lot of StarCraft. It's going to be an intense week, or it is an intense week of StarCraft. As you can see here, we're going to be live at 6 p.m. KST. That's going to be at 8 p.m. AEST. 5 hours. We're going to be live in 5 hours with our next cast. That is going to be the grand finals of the CranKy Gathers Season 2 tournament. That is a team league tournament, 6-team invitational. We've been covering it for the past week. And on Monday, we finished up the lower bracket finals. Tonight, we have the grand finals. Grand finals between Basilisk and Team Liquid, best of 13. If you haven't been watching, if you haven't heard of this, where have you been? I highly recommend the VODs. Over the past week of play, we've been featuring this return of Team League format, a return of Team League. This is a 6-team invitational. It was Team Falcons, Team Vitality. So Team Falcons, Team Vitality, Team Liquid, Shopify Rebellion, Streamer Zone, and Basilisk. 6 teams. 6 teams were facing off in a Team League Pro League format, and best of 2s were also a part of those matches as well. So there were best of 2s alongside the best of 1s, and we have a best of 13 finals between Basilisk and Team Liquid. They're the top two teams of the league, and they're facing off in that finals. If you're curious, best of 13, how does that work? They reveal their first lineups ahead of time, a day ahead of time. It's going to be 4 matches first, and then they reset, they refresh their roster, and then they do another 4, and then another 4. So it goes from 4, then to 8, then to 12, if the series goes that far. Best of 13 is first to 7. First to 7 do claim the series. So best of luck to Basilisk, best of luck to Team Liquid. Again, that's going to be in 5 hours. It's going to be in 5 hours time. As we do have the OSC Rising Star tournament tomorrow morning. We have the Pondcast tomorrow evening. We have Warriors TV Monday on Friday. We have KSL, PiGosaur Cup, SDO, and STC. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. And yeah, we'll see you guys later on tonight, or we'll see you tomorrow for some more StarCraft action. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, you can support us. You can support us if you wish via following us on the socials. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. Plenty of content on YouTube. It's all there on YouTube, !YouTube, or socials in the chat. It's all there. Likewise, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Join us on Discord as well. Shout out to Blakadoos for subscribing for 26 months, papi. Thank you so much, Blakadoos, for the support. We do appreciate it. And if you want to support us even further, Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis, so you can help us grow the prize pool of our tournaments through Patreon. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Otherwise, we'll see you guys later on tonight or tomorrow for some more StarCraft. See you then. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you then.